Hi, my name is Jay, and I'll be sharing my thoughts on some of the challenges migrants face in the UK and how we as a community, especially as young people, can collaborate to create positive change. I think one of the biggest challenges faced by new migrants today is the rise of anti-immigration and xenophobic narratives in the media. We see far-right politicians and certain parts of the press constantly pushing this idea that migrants are a problem rather than human beings who are looking for safety, opportunity, or to live a better life. Additionally, we are seeing protests that seek to remove migrants from the UK. This makes it harder for migrants to feel welcome and it fuels prejudice in local communities. On top of that, there are practical issues such as language barriers, struggling to find work or stable housing, and this feeling of isolation when you don't yet have a community around you. But I think the negative media narratives are particularly damaging because they shape how society treats migrants from the very beginning. If I could design one project, it would be the Buddy Program, where new migrants are paired with local volunteers. This would help with things such as practicing to learn English, learning how to navigate services, and most importantly, building friendships so people do not feel isolated. I think young people should be at the heart of these projects, not just helping on the sidelines. For example, we could create a youth-led committee where young people will have all decision-making power. That way, we're not just participants, but leaders who are willing to bring fresh change and ideas. If a project works in one town, the best way to scale it up is to share toolkits and success stories online so other communities can copy this model. It is also important to build partnerships with schools, councils and charities so the project can adapt to the local area whilst keeping the same core values. I would measure success by seeing if people join in. Are they making connections and friendships? Do migrants feel more confident? Are they finding work? And most importantly, do they feel welcome in the community? Those human outcomes matter more than just money. To keep people motivated after a project ends, I think it's important to create regular opportunities such as monthly meetups, workshops, or cultural events. Celebrating small achievements and giving people a chance to step up as future organisers also keeps that sense of purpose alive. I would want to work with schools and colleges because young people bring new energy and ideas. Councils could provide the funding and community spaces. Local groups and businesses could provide job opportunities and spreading awareness. I think the most important qualities for someone organising community projects are empathy, organisation, and the ability to bring people together. Personally, I would say I'm empathetic and good at understanding people's perspectives. I also enjoy coming up with creative solutions and making sure everyone feels included. For instance, in secondary school, our school wanted to raise money through a big sports day. I was a part of a small team that was asked to plan activities and make sure students got involved. I helped coordinate sports day, which would run the events to student staff. We made sure to have volunteers run each activity. I also spoke in assembly to encourage people to take part. The event was a huge success. We raised a good amount of money for sports relief and had a really fun and positive day. From that, I learned planning, communicating, and bringing people together. If I were promoting a community project on social media, I'd create a TikTok story called One Story, One Voice. The aim would be to highlight the lived experiences of migrants and young people in a way that feels personal, relatable, and authentic. Each clip would feature a short and powerful clip running for about 30 to 60 seconds to fit TikTok style, and would feature one individual sharing their own story. For example, a migrant might talk about the first moment that they felt welcomed in a new country, or a young person might share what migration has meant for their family. These moments would be filmed in natural, everyday settings such as a kitchen, a park, or school to make these stories feel grounded and real. To ensure accessibility, each video will include clear subtitles and possibly translations so that the language barriers do not stop people from engaging. Visual storytelling would also play a big role. Snippets of personal objects such as a book, a cultural dish, or a childhood photo could be woven into these videos to give it more depth and emotion. The tone would not be overly polished or scripted, but genuine and human. Instead of statistics or heavy facts, the focus would be on the person behind the story, showcasing their humor, resilience, dreams, and individuality. To boost engagement, viewers could be invited to comment with supportive messages, share their own stories, or use the hashtag to contribute. Over time, this would create a digital archive of voices, showcasing that migration is not only a distant issue, but a shared experience. The series also could highlight different themes each week, such as first memories, dreams, or what they like to do. Ultimately, one story and one voice would give people a sense of community. If I could change one thing to make the UK a better place for migrants and young people, I'd invest in more free, accessible community places where people can meet, learn, and support each other, somewhere that feels safe, welcoming, and no matter their background, can belong. Thank you for listening to my ideas. I really believe that by challenging these narratives that are negative and creating positive spaces, we can make the UK a fairer and more welcoming place for everyone.